Dandavat, dear devotees, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good noon. All these things. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj, and to each and every one. And did I just catch the end of something about the devotees from Malaysia? We know the devotees very well in Malaysia. Anyhow, we are happy to remember the Malaysian devotees, no doubt.
Yes, Maharaj. Dandavats. We were chatting about the devotees from Lenasia. Mathura Vasini Didi, that said that she knows Jivana Didi and Udamani Prabhu.
Yes, definitely she does. And Chinmoy Dev, who came back, you disappeared for a moment. Just as I was saying, I've been remembering you, thinking of you, and you came back. So then you disappeared. Now you've come back graciously. Hare Krishna. Yes, very sweet devotees in Malaysia. Actually, very sweet devotees all over the world. But Mathura Vasini Didi, she's a gentleman lady. Whatever the word for a gentleman lady is. Jai. So to each of you, welcome Nirupama Devidasi in the dark. We're in the dark as well, no doubt. Nirupama, good morning. Oh, she can hear. Okay, looked like she couldn't hear. Dandavat. Nirupama Devidasi, Uddaran Prabhu Jayade Prabhu Radha Sundari Devidasi, and Ekadashi with Davali, and Chinmoy Dev Prabhu, Paramananda Prabhu, Rupa Nuga Prabhu, Kumkum Devidasi, Seva Rupa Devidasi, and Kaila sleeping, I think. Jivana Devidasi, and okay, don't disturb. And Jai Paneshwari Devidasi, Ki and Jai. So to all of you, yes, Ekadashi showing her form too. So mini Vandanam, really mini Vandanam. We can chant Vandeham. We just chanted Vancha Kalpa to each other. So Vandeham, Omagyan, Namo Mahavaranyaya, and Panchatattva and Hare Krishna. Okay. So Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitang Tang Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vashakan Vitangscha Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Jaina Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurataje Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivas Adi Shri Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So welcome to you all. And Damayanti from Tomsk also joined us. Welcome Damayanti, Hare Krishna, and Jayadev showing his form, not only a photo. Dandavat to each one who's just joined us. And Radha Sundari, yesterday, a message came up, like these messages come up very fast, saying Radha.Sundari just started a live broadcast on, not sure, I think it was Instagram, but when I went there, it was Instagram, I think. When I went there, I couldn't find any Radha Sundari live broadcast. I thought we would get a preview of Mayapur. We'd be able to see something of the Holy Land. But some promise, but it didn't happen. Made us more in separation, just see. All right, and we are live too on Facebook. So let me just see who may be there visible to me just at the moment. Oh, Jagamohini Devi Rasi, Dandavats, and indeed Seva Rupa Devi Rasi of Mexico, Dandavats, and to all of your family, of course. And that's what I see here. And Madhava, Michael Madhava Prabhu, welcome. And to those who we can't see, also welcome. And those who will be with us in the recorded version, which is almost the same as the live version. Welcome to you all. Happy to have you with us. All right. So, oh, look, Radha Sundari, she's out and about in Mayapur. We can maybe see what's taking place there. Hare Krishna. Oh, in a car with a rear view mirror. You see how India is progressing. Oh, motorcycle with a rear view mirror. See how India is progressing. Rear view mirror. Must be fashionable.
Dandavad.
Dandavad.
I'm very sorry. I'm driving to bring Padma to school. That's why I could not say anything. Now we will take some Ekadashi Prasaram and then go. And here are so many people because of Gita Mela is going. After Gita Jayanti, the big festival is here, so many people came.
Okay, very good.
Every
And
day.
in an open space, many flowers for Krishna, many people. Oh, the guest house there, yes. Jai Shri Navadip Dham ki Jai Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai Shri Chandrodaya Mandir ki Jai. All right, so thank you, Radha Sundari Didi, Jai Nitai. So we had a little preview there, or little view of the activity, which looks very active in Mayapur. All over the world, some little bit different rules and regulations coming and going for restriction about the virus. But where there is the chanting of the holy name, if people can come together in a sensible way, of course, for that, that is the best thing. Whatever happens in this world will happen, isn't it? Jai Bhagavan Prabhu also joined us. Sudaran Prabhu joined us. With it. Dandavat, Dandavat. So let us begin. And we are on the 30th of December here. Still 29th of December in America. You'll catch up with the rest of the world one day. California, the center of the world. And actually, for many people in India, especially, their dream is America, and in America, their dream is California. So, not the center of the world for many people. So let us open the I don't know, mailbox, the box, and see who's got a question, or no, who's got a contribution, not a question first. You know, we always like you will come with a contribution. It is back to basics, so something in the basics category, and we always have something lined up. But first, your chance to share something. Knock, knock. Any doors opening? Any hands? Oh, it's not my hand. I'm only giving an example. Yes, Nirupama, you put up your hand. You're sewing, is that correct? Look, she's sewing at 4 a.m., sewing for the deities, Jai, utilizing her time nicely. All right. I better be careful about, oh yes, here she is. Nirupama, would you like to say something? Paramananda Prabhu is here to translate. No? Okay. No problem at all. Then Paramananda Prabhu, seeing as we didn't have any word from Nirupama, and we would have heard your voice if she'd said something, let us hear something from you, because I know you will certainly have something ready. Kindly.
Well, I don't see the logic, Maharaj, why you picked me after Nirupama.
Well, because we would have heard you if she was to speak, so we still can hear from you, but with you speaking. This is the logic, whether it is sound or not.
Vaishnava orders, Maharaj. There we can find some logic. Well, since it's the end of the year, I remember how Srila Gurudev was talking about that Muslim system of Saltamami. A year account of what we achieved, what is our balance, what have we done, what we haven't done. So it's a really good time to contemplate about that. What have we done for Krishna? What have we done for the devotees of Krishna? What could have we done more for the devotees of Krishna? That's another, because really it's infinite. That kind of service is infinite. So we can contemplate about it and really sincerely ask ourselves about our mood of service. What did we do in the proper mood? Where have things have to be adjusted? So Srila Gurudev always advised us to do self-analysis, not to analyze outside, not to analyze Krishna, don't waste your time, how the world works, both worlds, material, spiritual worlds, how they work. We don't have to analyze that or analyze others. Why they didn't do that or why they did that. That we shouldn't analyze at all. That will actually be very detrimental to our spiritual life. But he pointed out us, we can definitely analyze and see what more we can do, because really, no matter what kind of conclusion we're going to come at the end to, still we will feel we haven't done enough. So many things we could have done, but fortunately we're still in these bodies, and our birth was very fortunate this time. We won the lottery, coming back to the good fortune that we have acquired. So the next year we can commit ourselves more, do something more, serve more, chant more, read more, but read in the association of the devotees. That is also very important. Like Srila Gurudev pointed out, we've been touching this theme recently a lot about studying, learning things. So a proper learning of the Shastra, and we're not interested. If we need to learn something for our material life, just to survive, just to keep our body and soul together here and continue our service, that is okay, that is accepted, that will be a part of Seva. But really, if we are to learn anything, it must be connected to Krishna. But that learning must come in the company of the devotees. We must hear from a devotee. Then that will be a proper learning, proper hearing, proper studying of the scriptures. And everything will be beneficial for us in that process. While if we just decide to study scriptures for the whole year and do nothing, that will definitely cause a big setback in our spiritual life. What else can be said, Maharaj? We're still in a wonderful world and a wonderful time. I remember one devotee, an old friend of mine, started a chat blaming Kali Yuga. How bad is Kali Yuga? Pointing so many bad things that are happening, and really it was a depressing chat. And I couldn't normally I wouldn't join any chats, but I did join this chat by just posting one simple verse glorifying Kali Yuga. And why? By simple reason, because Mahaprabhu appeared, and we got very easy Yuga Dharma, easy expressway to Galoka Vrindavan. All we need to do is to accept it with full sincerity, full faith, and follow the advice of our Guru Varga. Everything automatically will be perfect. There is no doubt about it. And like in that verse that Madhusudan Maharaj kindly, mercifully ordered us to learn, and I'm pretty sure everybody learned that verse by now. Kaler dosha nidhiraja, that verse. So, Kaler dosha, we are in the midst of the ocean of imperfections, the ocean of problems, horrific things happening around us. But why this age is glorified? Because Mukta Sangha Kalyardoshanit Herajam Pyasti Eko Mahaguna Kirtanat Eva Krishnasya. Because of Kirtan of Krishna, that is what came in Kali Yuga. Kirtanat Eva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Rajat. We are the Mukta Sangha by the grace of our Guru Varga. We are those fortunate liberated souls. Like Gurudev pointed out once, you're all liberated souls. And he wasn't joking, wasn't ironic kind of a remark. No, he actually saw everyone surrounding him, helping him to serve Srila Guru Maharaj as a liberated soul, sent to him by Guru Maharaj himself, sent from the higher abode. So this is why it is so fortunate. This is why we are fortunate. So let's continue to be in that Mukta Sangha, the company of the liberated souls, and continue Kirtanat Eva Krishnasya, Krishna Kirtan. And Srila Saraswati Thakur, one of his, the opening advice, that little word that is called my advice, says, Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan. This is the only objective of the Gaudiyama. No other aspirations, no other goals, no other objectives. Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtan, following Mahaprabhu, following Nityananda and our Guru Varga. I don't know what else to say, Maharaj. So I can conclude here with Jai to our Divine Master, Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Swami Maharaj, and Jai Srila Bhakti Rakshara Deva Swami Maharaj. And of course, the present acharyas and senior devotees who keep leading and keep giving shelter to those who are very sincere and stepping forward and boarding that ship. So the present Vaishnavas, they're keeping that ship tidy. And the sails are still full of divine wind. The captain is still there. And everyone on board is more or less happy. I'm sometimes feeling a little bit seasick, but it's a sneezing matter in the words of Srila Gurudev. So we're all going to make it if we just stick at the lotus feet, to the lotus feet of the Vaishnavas. But how to stick, not just be a leech. Again, that story, how one can have an association with the sadhu by being a flea or a leech in the hair of the sadhu. We don't want that kind of association, but stick to the lotus feet of the sadhu by serving their lotus feet, by serving the Vaishnavas. Not even direct serving of the sadhu, but serving the servants of their servants. That would even bear a higher fruit in our case. Dandavat.
Jai Dandavat. Yes, indeed, the Saltamami. So now suddenly suddenly the world is coming to an end. Suddenly the year is coming to an end. But for each of us, our world comes to an end within 100 years, maybe 101 or 102. For the ladies, not for the men. You see, no equality in this world. But here we are. So anyhow, so the year is coming to an end. And I can say this has been a very fast year somehow or another. But maybe we feel this every year. And just recently, one of our senior sannyasis was expressing how the necessity is how coming from ISKCON. I mean, many of us came from ISKCON. In ISKCON, we're hearing about Radha Krishna, chanting the holy name and many things, but not much about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sort of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was more or less on the side rather than in the center. But coming to Guru Maharaj and to Gurudev, they brought from, yes, you're attracted by Radha Krishna, but our attention needs to be primarily in the Nitai Gauranga department, because by such attention, faith, service, then we will get the tangible deposit within the Vrindavan Leela of our energy. So this is also something for us to consider. This not only coming year, but we've got also 2 days before the new year begins. From this moment onwards, being Krishna conscious, but being Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conscious. And by the way, Mahaprabhu's name is Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya, Sri Krishna, so his name is Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna, okay, we know Krishna. Chaitanya, we also know. Consciousness, Chaitan. So Mahaprabhu's name is Krishna consciousness, but we must be also Gaura Hari, Gauranga consciousness, Golden Lord consciousness, because he is the giver of Krishna consciousness, the embodiment and giver of that. Hare Krishna. Yes, some fuel for us. And can we kindly come to Kumkum Devi Dasi? As you all know, she's in our gathering. Yes. I never know if Jivana or Kumkum's the senior, actually. Joint senior. They're both Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, blessed souls. They're both with us. So let us hear from them. It is our good fortune. Kumkum Devi Dasi, kindly.
I think I'm senior in the sense of creaky bones.
Oh dear.
But not in the sense of Krishna consciousness. Well, I was thinking this week about plurality of gurus and our indebtedness to everyone who helps us. And I came to the chapter in Shri Guru and His Grace, the Land of Gurus. And I especially like this. I like to contemplate this first couple of paragraphs. In the highest stage of devotion, we must see not only one guru, we must see that guru is everywhere. In the land of Krishna, all are gurus. Our transformation should be towards that. Everything in the spiritual world, the entire environment is our guru and we are servants. To enter into Vaikuntha or Goloka means that on all sides, we must see guru and pay our respects. There is gradation, of course, but all are guru. So, and then of course he goes on more and more, but I was wondering if you could speak something about the gradation, not just in the spiritual world as he is saying here, but for us also. We never want to commit any offense to any Vaishnav, but there are gradations of guru. And so how can we best come to give proper honor?
Well, you are reading Sri Guru and His Grace, and there, if you haven't, I'm not exactly sure the part of the book where you're reading what you have read and what's still to come in the book. But Guru Maharaj does give some indication about, gradation of guru, about in an analogy way, that one guru is descended from the upper world. He has 2 feet in the upper world, and he's descended here to bring the souls from this world to that plane. One type has got 1 foot in the upper world and 1 foot in this world. And in this way, that like from this world, he's stepping to there. He's got 1 foot here and 1 foot there. And so he is giving us with the experience of this world, then he's giving us the push and the pull to go to the upper world. And the third kind has got 2 feet in this world, but his intention, his glance, his direction, his focus is purely on the upper world. And in each case, each are presenting to us their guru. So this is always, you will find a guru parampara, and even Lord Brahma himself has got Krishna and Krishna's flute as his guru. But this is about this world, and in Krishna's land, you've got everybody's teaching something. The bird is teaching something, the python, the snake is teaching something, the tiger's teaching something, the tree, they're all teaching something. They're all senior to us, and they're all dedicated to Krishna. But there are different departments, and so there will be different gradations of guardians for us, guardians and guides in that world. And then when we continue in the teachings of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, the teachings of Srila Saraswati Thakur, then we come ultimately to the the finest gradation of guide and well-wisher and guardian, shelter, connection of service there. And that is with the camp, the department of Radharani's service to Krishna. So it's a big jump from this world to say about that world. But the upper world, everyone is Guru because everyone is senior to us. We are here in this mundane world. We're being given entrance by the grace of Guru and Gauranga from this plane to that plane. But there, everybody is senior to us, including the grass, including the trees. The trees, they are full of heart. When Krishna comes along, they bow down with their fruits. They bow down with their fruits, and Krishna plays his flute, okay? And the descriptions of when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Vrindavan, I mean, he is going to Vrindavan. If you want to know the mood of pilgrimage to Vrindavan, we've got a wonderful example in Chaitanya Charitamrita itself of Mahaprabhu going to Vrindavan. And there, everything is giving him the consciousness of Vrindavan, Krishna consciousness of the highest aspect. And in this world, we must be extremely careful. You're saying we must be very careful about making offense anywhere. Yes. So in this world, I can say, I remember before ever meeting the devotees. And then when we got the chance to meet the devotees, after some time, without any meeting or association, seeing them, I saw them in the street, but didn't have any means to meet them. I didn't know where they were. Anyway, we were in a situation where we didn't meet them. And the one book I had did not have any address. The nearest address, I don't know how many, was maybe 4,000 kilometers away, which wasn't very practical to go and visit at the weekend. And when we first met the devotees, and every devotee is like definitely senior to us, every devotee, they're chanting the holy name of the Lord. They have faith. They shaved their heads. Who are these people? They shaved their heads and made some commitment and statement by their activities. And then in due course of time, then we find some are, you can say, simple-hearted devotees, etc., etc. But we can learn from them all. And one thing I noted when I did come to the temple was I was asking them questions, and they are telling me what I'd read in the book. And then I thought, well, they're doing just what they're meant to be doing. They're presenting Srila Prabhupada. At that time, Srila Prabhupada, I only had his books. So then we come to find out, okay, this is this kind of devotee, this is this kind of devotee. But first they are devotees. So the other thing is that the function, Krishna says, the function of Guru is Krishna himself coming to reach to the fallen souls. So this plurality in this world means that we also somebody will see somebody as a Guru, somebody will get their connection and inspiration somewhere else from their heart. And this plurality of Gurus is very evident in the time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so many disciples of different masters, so many different guru-disciple relationships, but all in one camp, the camp of Mahaprabhu, one like associating together. And this is something that we have to also understand and learn in this world, to accept who has got faith in Guru, the whole principle of Guru and Gauranga, who's got faith in the scriptures, who's got faith in the Vaishnavas. And we will do everything to help increase and make firm that faith, and not have party spirit, local spirit. It's unity in diversity, this whole expression, which we heard a long time ago when we came to Guru Maharaj and about the GBC meetings in Mayapur, where we were just now with Radha Sundari. This was the theme that Srila Prabhupada wanted for those meetings, how to have unity within diversity. So when we can see the function of Krishna coming through the spiritual master to the disciples, then the different disciples have got different masters, but there is unity within all that diversity. And we will try to see everybody and every circumstance, including the dog which is chasing us and barking at us. Then we should try to learn from everywhere something. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, now I haven't read it for many years, this part, but there is somebody who sees, oh, I get teaching from the tree about this, from the mountain about this, from the cloud about this, from the ocean about this, the fish about this. And I haven't read it for many years, but he is saying, I see these all as my guru coming to teach me. Coming to...
It was Jada Bharata Maharaj.
Was it Jada Bharat?
There's
Well,
also
sounds very familiar.
too. Dattatreya goes through, I think, 24 different gurus. Yeah,
okay.
Also.
So we do need to try to read the environment, and Gurudev, Sri Govinda Maharaj, is always reading the environment too. And of course, Guru Maharaj, Guru, totally, but Gurudev is always reading the environment. So we must learn from all of this, and we ourselves try to understand, read the environment, and wait and see means wait to see what is the descending will, and then do that. So we must always be looking for the descending will. And if we can hear our Guru's direction in our heart, then this is best. And when we will get direction from anywhere, some inspiration, some thought, oh yes, they have taught me well, that is good, then we will go there. But to see everybody is working by the Lord's arrangement, everything is taking place, my environment is caused by my activity. Krishna's put me in the, not just, oh, a good place, but as Guru Maharaj points out, Krishna's put us in the best place for us to come back to our home. So we will try to see good everywhere around us, to benefit us for that, even if it is apparently some unfortunate things. When we see, sometimes in our lives, we've seen very suffering of others, but we must think that's also to remind us, and much suffering we've seen in some others. I mean, really suffering. Hare Krishna.
But that
is also temporary. They're suffering, then they're going to leave their body. You know, the world is a place for us to learn. And as Paramananda said at the beginning, it's Kali Yuga. So we can't expect that we're going to get always the sweet things around us. We're going to get the sour as well. Yes, Paramananda, you were speaking, I think.
Yes, on that subject, Srila Gurudev and also Srila Guru Maharaj, they're giving another qualification of the Guru, which is very important. Like you mentioned, there are different gradations of the Gurus according to their spiritual realizations and qualification. But both of them pointing out that a qualified Guru is first of all a qualified disciple, a good disciple. Like I said, a perfect disciple, yes, it is ideal, but perfect disciple is very hard to find. Of course, we've been fortunate to see that kind of perfect disciple manifested in the form of Srila Govinda Maharaj. It's a wonderful example for all of us. Guru Maharaj points out, no matter how big Guru you are, you must be a perfect disciple or a good disciple of your Guru. It means you are the transparent medium. You're not going to put anything of yourself. And I'm not saying that you will not have your own realizations or your unique presentation, unique character. That is all preserved, that there is no conflict in there. But you must be able to transmit the teachings of your Guru and the teachings of the whole Guru Varga. Then they're pointing out, you're qualified to be a Guru. But it is also a big consideration to be a perfect disciple. And Guru Maharaj points out, a disciple forever, eternal disciple. A guru is also an eternal disciple, giving us perfect example of how to be a student, how to be a disciple. And Mahaprabhu, in the beautiful story with Vallabha, he is teaching that lesson. Well, Vallabha thought that he crossed Sridhar Swami, who is a universal guru. He is a guru in our sampradaya. So Mahaprabhu taught him a big lesson. And then he learned it by the grace of the devotees, Gadadhar Pandit, Mahaprabhu, and other devotees, and accepted a very humble position. A disciple can never be more than his guru.
Yes, Om. And Praneshri raised her hand, and in the meantime, too, on Facebook, then Tungarasa Devirasi has joined us, Brajmohini Devirasi has also joined us, and Rupa Vilas Prabhu also joined us. Each are sending their obeisances to all of the devotees, and others may be there too. Praneshri raised her hand, a little contribution, Praneshri, a quotation perhaps. We can't hear you, or I can't hear you. Cannot hear. It doesn't say your microphone is off. Do you have your microphone connected? Turned on?
Yes.
Are you speaking or just miming? No, we can't hear you. Is it me? Somebody speak. Paramanandapu, speak something.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, no, it's something wrong with Praneshwari's microphone. So it could be switched off in her computer, not in the Zoom application.
You can do like Mahananda and mime your question. Sometimes we are giving translations or reading and find ourselves automatically miming what we're what we're reading.
That's because language is not enough to express, Maharaj, what we're talking about.
Okay, so Praneshwari, okay, I'll read Praneshwari's question. She's saying, question to Paramananda Prabhu. And this is a Buddhist question. We have to meditate. What is that question? Hare Krishna, because everything I have below this is complete white, not any spot. And we do here in Italy, strangely, have one cartel. We have pairs of cartels, and then we have one cartel. And I asked Munindra Mohan, why one cartel? He said, yes, for the Buddhists when they want to play the cartels. Back to Basics Outline to Self-Analyze about 2021. Not sure about the question here, very cryptic, Praneshwari Devirasi.
I think it's about the Saltamani of back to basics.
Oh, Saltamani, back to basics. Well, Praneshwari is the best person to give it, but something happened. So Praneshwari, you could, you know all these things. You could click on the Zoom in the top left-hand corner, go to preferences and just see whether in there, sometimes, I know I've been in a position where the computer's got one thing selected, but there something else is selected. For audio, Zoom, preferences, audio, and just see what it says is the microphone.
Maharaj, maybe in the meantime, we can hear something from Jivana Didi while Praneshwari Didi fixing her microphone.
Yes, so Jivana Didi, please.
I'm sorry, I always feel so sorry for all of you. You're such illustrious, exalted devotees. You always have to hear something from me. So I offer you my humble obeisances because you're all so great. And because of you, even I can even remember one little thing. It's amazing. But so really it was wonderful what Parameshwar was talking about the Shikshastakam and how this is the end of the year and how we're on Kali Yuga, but actually Kali Yuga is a very good thing. And how Srila Vyasadeva, when they were in the forest of Naimsharanya, maybe it was, and he was singing and dancing and saying Kali Yuga is so great. He was glorifying Kali Yuga, and the sages were like, what is he talking about? This is a terrible age. And so they went to ask him, why are you so joyful about Kali Yuga? This is such a disaster. It's just a terrible age. And he just said, no, this is the best age of all. And maybe that's where the that verse comes in of that he says to the king. What's the verse again? Yeah. So maybe it was in that place. But he was very delighted with the coming of Kali Yuga. So that is a really, really beautiful thing to remember. So always so happy to hear that, because sometimes we do feel overwhelmed and drowning in the ocean of Kali Yuga. And I'm the first one to always blame everything on Kali Yuga. Anything that happens, like, oh yeah, it's Kali Yuga. And but forget that Kali Yuga is actually a great blessing. Even we've heard in ISKCON, we used to hear a lot that the demigods would want to come and take birth in this age, because they could so easily achieve love for Krishna. At other ages, they had to like meditate for thousands of years underwater, and very difficult meditation techniques they had in other ages, but they would aspire to come here to practice the Hare Krishna movement in this Kali Yuga age. So that was really, really beautiful. And so then the only thing that I was going to mention besides that was, because you brought up the Shikshastakam, we're reading the Shikshastakam from Golden Volcano in Jairam's class. That's what he's reading right now. And recently he's been on the Humbler Than a Blade of Grass. So I think that was a good one for Back to Basics class. So I was just going to read a little snippet of it, because the whole chapter, of course, is amazing. But this one was just the little piece that was coming to talk about that there's so many forms of hindrances and oppositions that will come and try to affect us and dissuade us from the path. But we must practice forbearance like that of a tree. So it's the famous tree example. And he said, Guru Maharaj says, why has the example of a tree been given? And it has been analyzed in this way, that if no one pours any water on the tree doesn't complain. He doesn't say, oh, give me water. Or if anyone comes to disturb the tree, snatching leaves, cutting branches, or even chopping it down, he gives no opposition whatsoever. And so Guru Maharaj says that we should try to see how insult, poverty, punishment, or other unfavorable dealings are necessary to purify us. And with minimal punishment, we shall be released from material existence. So that was so wonderful, because again, back to, how many difficulties that we encounter, our friends encounter, what we have to see, and how actually all these things can come to as friends to help purify us and help us on our path to exiting the material world and achieving some devotion in the heart for Krishna.
Jai.
So, yeah, that was what I was thinking about.
So Jivan as being, as Paramanandabu pointing out, a transparent medium for presenting us Guru Maharaj. It is very beautiful.
Really, because you all allow me in your association, even though I'm a flea, I'm trying not to bite anybody.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Now we're going to be
Sometime
reminded.
I'm thinking, actually, we're giving so much credit to Yuga Mahaprabhu for his Chinese preaching. But I would at least do it 50-50, because without Jivana's support, I don't think he could have done it so well.
Oh, no, I just
that would be a fair share.
Back to being the flea pitter-pattering behind somebody great. So I really can't take any credit. You have a very generous vision.
Well, here in the chat box, Praneshri Devidasi is asked, presumably to Jivana, she's asked, Please tell us how to self-analyze our actions in 2021.
Oh,
What does a bhakta
Paramananda
do to
Prabhu.
learn and advance
Paramananda Prabhu.
on 2022?
Very good.
Oh, it was to Paramanand. Okay, you're off the hook, Jeevan.
And actually, I would like to put Madhusudan Maharaj on this hook.
Oh, hold on,
Because
hold
really,
on.
he is the
Bouncing
best
this
person
around.
to tell us how.
Well, how we'll, okay, to keep on the theme of the wish of the Vaishnavas, Praneshwari's first expressed wish, to keep on that theme, how we will analyze and how we will learn for 2022, we shall hear from Paramananda Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Maharaj, who I am to analyze that? I mean, I'm supposed to analyze myself. Even that is difficult for me to do. I'm far from being perfect in even that kind of endeavor.
I'm good.
But
I'm
I
good.
can say,
I
who is, yes?
It's okay, it's okay.
Oh,
Accidental microphone came on from somewhere. It's all right.
I can only judge by myself that how happy and how much I am enlivened and enthused to be with the devotees on back-to-back the basics twice a week. In fact, I think there should be 3 meetings. Not at Praneshwari. This is my analysis. That maybe 3 meetings is necessary, so that we can at least remember what we talked about in the previous one. Since it's Kaler Dosha, so we have to accept that. Some imperfections we have, no doubt. So that would be nice, but all I can say, I mean, I know that devotees are very enlivened by these meetings as well, and there are so many devotees listening to back-to-back the basics. And it's a big credit that goes to you, of course, and to Madhusudan Maharaj, and all the faithful participants, Kumkum Nidhi, Sevarupa, everybody, Chinmoy, whoever is here right now, they are the faithful participants for so many back-to-back the basics. And really, by the grace of Madhusudan Maharaj, he is engaging us in Krishna Katha, engaging us in the seva to our Guru Varga. And that is also our good fortune. That means our self-tamami, our positive balance is going up just by being in his association and by his Vaishnava power. He is sharing, he is not stingy. He is not trying to monopolize, excuse me, his opportunity, his service to our Guru Varga, Gurudev, Guru Maharaj. He's sharing it with everybody. That's why in the beginning of every meeting, he's asking, please share, please do something, please say something. Open your heart, tell us what inspired you, if there is any question. And then again, he's giving opportunity to everyone to say something. Because when we talk about Krishna, when we're in the middle of Krishna Katha, first of all, it's not that I, for example, for myself, I'm not able to inspire anybody. I'm inspiring myself. Something is coming to me in that moment. And that inspires me. And I'm getting inspired, and with inspiration, I continue. So in a way, it's selfish, but Krishna consciousness is such a wonderful thing. Krishna is such a wonderful thing. Mahaprabhu is even more, please excuse Krishna, even more wonderful thing than Krishna, more wonderful and magnanimous personality. So they are using us like instruments. So they're transmitting whatever we are able to transmit. And everyone is able to transmit something, even though everyone thinks they're unqualified. So my, I wouldn't say judgment, but conclusion on back-to-back the basics, it's doing wonderful things and also engaging so many devotees in Krishna Katha. And this is what we're supposed to do. Like in that verse, Kalir Dosham in Heranja, there is another verse, Krishna Varnam Trisha Krishnam Sangopan Gasta Parshidam, Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai, Yajanti Hi Sumetrasa. There's also a prophetic verse for Mahaprabhu appearance in Kali Yuga. Long ago Mahaprabhu appeared, and it is saying that he will come and he will bring Krishna Sankirtan as the only way for achieving Krishna Bhakti in this age of Kali. And the process is very sweet, very simple, and very easy to follow. But it requires a little bit of sumetha, fine intelligence or spiritual intelligence, to join and participate in Paramvijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. But then comes Nityananda. What he does, he takes the one who has no metha at all, and he gives them special mercy by force. And after Nityananda, Birachandra, Vrindavan Das, and so many others, Prabhupada, Saraswati Thakur, of course, Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, doing his, what is it, not what do you call it, when somebody is, what is it, Maharaj? He said that himself, when somebody is in a peril and you help, what kind of mission is that?
Relief work.
Relief work, here you go. So he is giving that relief work. Gurudev, think about how many times he went around the world, how many difficulties he experienced during his travels. But for our sake, he would go. For our sake, he will speak and tolerate everything. So what else can be said? Maharaj, now it's your turn. It's back to Bhakti basics with Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan.
Hare Krishna. Well, it is a time, I think one thing we can say about this last year is, it's more clear, if ever it was in doubt, that we are in Kali Yuga. And just look at the writing on the wall, as they say. You know, as Goswami Maharaj points out, he says, I've looked through all the scriptures, I read so many things. I've not found anywhere that there's going to be a golden age within Kali Yuga. In fact, he said, everywhere I find that the description is, it's just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. And there may be this golden opportunity, but it doesn't mean that suddenly the whole world is going to be protecting the cows and, you know, all the sweet devotional things that took place in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Dwapara Yuga in different gradation. So one thing we can take from this year also is, it's right in our face about Kali Yuga. And so now let's really take to heart, you know, this Kale Dosha Nideh Rajan, Shukadev Goswami himself saying to Parikshit Maharaj. And this is at the end of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's at the end of one of the chapters, at the end of the 12th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. It's kind of the whole summary. Now, everything, you've heard everything, all these things, you've heard of the greatest aspiration after going through so many clear illustrations of how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the origin of all of the avatars, who are all 2000% worshipable. They're all Vishnu Tattva, they're Krishna himself. And I mean, lots of these discussions and things that take place where they're praying to the fish, Matsya avatar and things like that. They're quite difficult for us to capture. But Krishna himself, he's a fish. Krishna's a boar, a pig. I mean, a pig with a furry pig with tusks. Oops. Krishna's a furry pig with tusks. Krishna's many things, his incarnations. But the origin of and Vishnu, of course, Vishnu, 4 arms, clearly the Lord himself in all, you know, brilliance and what he does and everything else. But more than that is Krishna, the origin of all of the avatars. And then explaining that now Kali Yuga is going to come. Remember that the Srimad Bhagavatam was written for us. The conclusion, Veda Vyas brought the Vedas together and gave the conclusion for us, the future generations. So we'll have a record of what is the conclusion of the Veda. And from Veda Vyas himself, he's giving us this. And he chose Shukadev Goswami in order to present this to the world because of his unanimously accepted purity. So it's a transition. Now Krishna, he's departed, he's left the world, and now step by step by step, Maharaj Parikshit, then he's been given this guidance by Shukadev Goswami. And that verse, just after the Kaledosha Niderajang verse, comes another verse, which is, and I don't have it in mind, but it is this, Krite yad jyayato Vishnung Treta yang yajato makai dvapare paricharya yan kalau tad dhari kirtanat. Coming back to the kirtanat, which is that whatever result was obtained in Satya Yuga by meditating on Vishnu, in Treta Yuga by performing sacrifices, and in Dwapara Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained in Kali Yuga simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And that is the last verse of that section where Shukadev Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, as Parikshit Maharaj is getting ready himself for the snake bird to come to take him away. And then just a little later on, then we get Parikshit Maharaj saying, okay, don't worry about me. Nobody worry about me. I'm fine. Shukadev Goswami has made everything clear to me. I've heard from him. I'm all fixed up. I'm ready to leave my body. The question I had when I called all of you sages to come together to tell me how to utilize my time properly in this last 7 days that I have to live, how to prepare myself to go through the next door. Now everything has become clear by hearing from Shukadev Goswami. And then he says, my request to you all is you go on chanting the names and glories of the Lord and his pastimes. And this is where the Srimad Bhagavatam, after 18,000 verses, comes to. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu starts with this chanting of the holy name of the Lord, starts with this and shows the glory of the name, glory of the life of a devotee, someone who's given their life in this proper method of worship for Kali Yuga. And certainly, this word eva coming up again and again, certainly by chanting the holy names of the Lord, you'll get the highest type of journey and liberation. That word Vrajet, which is also coming in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the hidden treasure is that Vraja means to go, but Vraja also is indicating Vrindavan Dham. So to the highest quarter by the chanting of the Lord's names. Hare
also
Krishna.
Interesting, Raj, how Srimad Bhagavatam is presented to Parikshit Maharaj. What caused it? Because we heard originally he felt some thirst while hunting. Then he came upon the hermitage of the sage, but the sage was deeply absorbed in meditation, but he was so thirsty, he couldn't tolerate, so he made a mistake. He pushed the sage or kicked him, something happened, and that caused a Brahman boy, a son of the sage, creating a curse, and Dakshak will come in 7 days, and all of that. And it is also seen from a different perspective as an example of mundane thirst, the thirst for mundane in this world. So he was experiencing that kind of thirst that even, I mean, it's all Leela, and he's a divine personality, no doubt, but for our sake, it was all revealed. If we are experiencing that kind of thirst, it will only end up in more curses. It will put us in a very bad situation at the end. And then Shukadev Goswami comes, and there's a famous verse where he says, the only substance that can quench that thirst is Krishna Katha, hearing the glories of Krishna, chanting the glories and chanting the name of the Lord. And this is when Shukadev says, yes, your question is perfect. And here is what I have to say. And then the whole Bhagavatam comes. And it's so perfect and so sweet coming from Shukadev Goswami, from the devotional heart of Shukadev Goswami, that even Vyasadeva is astonished. Even Narada Muni is astonished to hear that. And that is also astonishing, Chamatkar. because he is the source of bhakti. Narada Muni gives orders and he compiles the Bhagavatam. But when he hears it from a devotee, his heart is melted. It's absolutely new. And he thought, how is that possible? It is so beautiful, so deep, infinitely deep. So this is our shelter. And what Srimad Bhagavatam Maharaj just pointed out, where is pointing to? Braja Sharanam. What do we know and how can we know about Braja Sharanam? Then comes that beautiful song by Vasu Ghosh. If Mahaprabhu wouldn't have come, then we would never know about the glories of Radha and Krishna, the glories of worship to Radha Krishna, glories of Srimati Radharani, the greatest servitor, and the glories of being a servant of Krishna. That would have never been revealed to us. So Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and their parshads up to the present age.
Jai. And by the way, on Sunday, or our Sunday, America Saturday, then we're going to be in the new year. And I do have something for the new year that we can read, and it is special. So let us start the new year. And I gave a little hint at the beginning when I started today, because I thought I'd maybe read it today. But I will start on Sunday with something like very special, something which is dear for our family, dear for ourselves, and may we all get some encouragement for 2022 to start with that reading. So it's just something short, and then again, as we're doing some discussion and hearing from you, so please always bring something in your pocket, something that's inspired you from the week, something which you'd like to share, because it's a living, Krishna consciousness is a living thing. It's not book knowledge, it is getting inspiration from others. So that's why we are here together. And Gaurangi Devi Rasi joined us, Narayani Nadia, eternally 14 years old. Narayani Nadia joined us, Aloka Chandrapur also, Brajamohini, our Dandabat Pranam to all who've joined us on Facebook also. And please do join us after 2 days. Friday? No? Friday? Saturday? Oh, after 3 days, yes. Do join us after 3 days, and we will all be in the new year at that time. And let us start 2022 also happily in Krishna consciousness. That's a good idea. Jai, Bhagavan Prabhu, all the senior devotees, all the devotees are senior to us, as we started today, Kumkum Devidasi saying about the gradation of Guru, the gradation of Vaishnava. All are senior to us. Let us learn from each other. We're one team heading home with the captain of the ship and these suitable bodies and the arms raised in Sankirtan as the oars to take us along the journey. That also is given as an example. Jai, in my best Sanskrit, as usual. Jai, wonderful Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And Jai, wonderful Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. And wonderful Srila Guru Maharaj. Oh, yes, wonderful Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. I was reading the message while saying the Jais. You see how bad I am. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupanuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. And all our present day Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda. Those who are bringing us Mahaprabhu through Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Essentially our family of Guru Vaga ki Jai. To all the assembled devotees who are with us live here and on Facebook, and all the assembled devotees who are with us during the recording, etc. Then to you all, our humble obeisances, and Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda, the unlimited devotees of the Lord, ki Jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Gurudev, Jai Shri Guru Maharaj. I dandavat to you all. Have a good 3 days until we meet again in the new year. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol. Dandavat.
Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Dandavat,
much,
Dandavat, one
Maharaj.
and all. Have special days. I'm going, but I can leave you together happily. Jai Jai.